So I hear Easter is supposed to be the festival of goddess Ishtar. A few years back, I had a little back and forth on Facebook about this with a friend named Esther. When I asked what actual proof there was that Easter is Ishtar's feast, the only evidence she could come up with was that Ishtar and Easter sound similar. But here is the funny thing. Doesn't my friend's name Esther sounds almost exactly like Ishtar? This is the danger of grasping at straws and trying to prove a point based purely on how words are spelled or pronounced. Trying to manufacture historical facts just because two words sound alike is a totally flawed approach. Every year around Easter, these social media posts pop up with this same image, claiming it's all about goddess Ishtar. But the reality is they don't have a shred of evidence beyond phonetics. To the Protestant and Pentecostal folks pushing these ridiculous claims, if you can actually produce some real evidence, feel free to drop it in the comment box. Now the figure in the background of the image is ancient Babylonian goddess Ishtar, but it's a huge mistake to label her as a goddess of sexuality or a fertility goddess. Ishtar is the Akkadian version of the Sumerian goddess Inanna. She was the goddess of both war and romantic love. While she was linked to sexuality, she was known for a wide range of contradictory things: war and love, fire and rain, so on. These points also claim that the egg and rabbits are Ishtar's symbol. That's just not true, and that's utter nonsense. Neither eggs nor rabbits were ever her sacred symbols. Nowhere in history is there a link between these animals and any such god. Sure, rabbits are famous for multiplying so fast, so they are seen as general symbols of fertility, and eggs obviously represent life. Remember a few years ago when Pope Francis commented about breeding like rabbits sparked huge debate. But beyond that imagery, there is no connection to any goddess. So anyone from Protestant or Pentecostal groups has proofs otherwise, I challenge you to bring it to the comment box. And then we have some of our Muslim friends jumping on this bandwagon. They have discovered that eggs and rabbits belong to Ishtar and the name Easter comes from her. In reality, eggs and rabbits are not even related to her in any manner. But here is the kicker. One of Ishtar's primary symbols is actually the Crescent Moon. You see where I am going with this, don't you? I challenge you to find even one ancient depiction of Ishtar with an egg or a rabbit. I, however, can show you hundreds of images of Ishtar with the Crescent Moon. So, who really resembles Ishtar more? Easter or those of you who use the Crescent Moon as your symbol? And if we are playing the sounds like game, doesn't your Iftar feast sound more like Ishtar than Easter does? Another claim made in this post is that the name Ishtar is read as Easter. That's utter nonsense. Ishtar isn't pronounced Easter. It's pronounced exactly as it is written, Ishtar. In short, here is the deal. Ishtar isn't just some sex goddess. Her name doesn't sound like Easter, and she has absolutely nothing to do with eggs or bunnies. Trying to link Easter to Ishtar just because the words sound a bit alike is total nonsense. Every single line in this post is flat out lie, and we can easily dismiss these empty arguments because they don't have even a single shred of proof to back them up. That said, it's not always easy to debunk arguments that contain a tiny grain of truth. To address those tiny grain of truth, you actually have to do the homework and hit the books. One such claim, which does have a bit of a basis, is that Easter comes from an ancient pagan goddess named Eostre. The story goes that rabbits and eggs were her sacred symbols, and Christians just hijacked her spring festival and so on. She is often pictured as a beautiful woman with golden hair. But is there actually any truth to that? Well, we will dive into the details of that in the next video.